Do not listen to this session whilst driving or operating machinery. Only listen when you can sit back and rest completely. Hello, I'm Dawn Rowley. I'd like to welcome you to this hypnosis recording, which is designed to support you if you've been struggling with any addictive or compulsive behaviour. So I'm referring to things like substance or alcohol abuse, a compulsion to gamble, a pornography or shopping addiction, or even things like overeating. There are three big things we need to look at when we're trying to change any addictive behaviour. Firstly, how do we see ourselves? Our self-image or identity is a collection of the beliefs that we hold about ourselves. And from a psychological point of view, we humans can't consistently behave in a way that's out of line with our self-image. So if deep down you see yourself as a failure, or stupid, or not worthy of love, then your behaviour will keep lining up with that belief, no matter how strong your willpower is. Some of the beliefs that you have about yourself will be good beliefs, and some are not so good. Identify what your negative beliefs are and ask yourself, where did this belief come from? And what you're going to find is that that belief was either handed down by somebody else, or you arrived at that belief following the misunderstanding of a situation where perhaps you wrongly assumed it meant something about you. Be assured your beliefs are not set in stone. How did you come by that belief? Did someone give it to you, or did 5-year-old you decide that? Ask yourself, can this really be true? And in what ways is it not true? Do I still have to believe this? Or is there a more appropriate and accurate belief that I can hold about myself now? Secondly, I encourage you to get peer support. That might be a 12-step program, a local community group, an online social media group, a meetup, whatever form of connection works for you. Because you don't have to do this alone. And being around people who understand can make all the difference. Thirdly, recognise that the behaviour isn't really the problem. Now, obviously the behaviour might well be quite destructive. However, think of it this way. It's actually a solution to another problem. Maybe that problem is stress, or trauma, or not knowing how to sit with certain thoughts or emotions. Maybe it's boredom, disconnection, low self-worth, or perhaps something buried even deeper. This particular recording is here to help you to get curious, not to shame yourself or force yourself into change, but to gently explore what's really going on underneath the compulsion, underneath the cravings. What it is you're actually trying to soothe, escape, or fix. Because once those unconscious needs start to come to the surface, you can begin focusing on what really needs healing and start discovering healthier ways to meet those needs. So take a moment to settle in. Find a comfortable position and let's begin. You don't need to try to relax. Just settle. Maybe even notice how you're being supported right now by the chair, the bed, the floor beneath you. Something steady underneath you, holding you. And you might even let out a sigh. as you begin to soften. Nothing you need to do. Nowhere to go. And as you rest here, you might become aware of your breathing. Noticing how the breath moves in and out. Maybe it's fast. Maybe it's slow. It doesn't matter. Just notice it. No judgment. No need to change it. And as you listen to the sound of my voice, you can let it become less important where you are in the room, and more important where you are inside yourself. Because that's where the shift begins. Not by forcing anything, but by allowing new awareness to gently rise up. And in a moment, I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. And with each number, you might feel yourself drifting, like you're following a path into a quieter, calmer part of yourself. A path that's always been there, maybe just overgrown for a while. 10. A sense of letting go, like releasing a held breath. 9. Nothing to prove here. 8. Just curiosity. 7. As if the noise of the world is fading into the background. 6. And something within you is beginning to turn towards the truth. 5. Not the harsh kind, but the kind that sets you free. 4. That deep knowing kind of truth. 3. The truth that makes you go, ah, so that's what it's about. 2. And maybe you already knew it, but now it lands differently. 1. Deep inside now, safe, aware, and open to insight. And I want to speak to the part of you that reaches for something. When things feel too much, too overwhelming, too noisy, too slow, too empty, too everything. That part of you that says, I just need to take the edge off. I just need to breathe for a second. I just want that feeling, that rush, or that float, or that quiet. You see, there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel better. That part of you was doing its best to soothe you, to regulate something that felt unregulated for too long. It was looking for peace, or pleasure, or even just a break from the chaos inside your head. And for a while, that behaviour gave it. But here's what I want you to notice now. That feeling it gave you, it didn't last. Because it wasn't real peace. It was more like borrowed silence. And every time it wears off, it takes something with it. Your time, your confidence, your focus, your energy, your life. So I wonder, what's the real need underneath it all? Not the need for the hit, not the need to escape, but the need to be met, to be understood, to feel satisfied, to be calmed, to feel connected, to feel safe, even just for a moment. Because sometimes that craving or compulsion isn't for the substance or behaviour at all. It's for comfort, for grounding, for something solid inside. And maybe no one ever taught that part of you how to create that. So it found its own way. Imperfect, yes, but it made sense at the time. And as you begin to notice what's really beneath the compulsion or the craving, you might find it helpful to think of it like this. You might imagine now standing beside a river. The water is moving steadily past, carrying all sorts of things with it. Twigs, leaves, foam, and sometimes even things you'd rather not see. Some people wade into the water and try to chase or push away the things they don't like. But the harder they push, the more they get pulled under by the current. Others just sit on the bank. They watch everything pass by, not grabbing the things they like, not wrestling with the things they don't. They know the river moves on by itself. And maybe there's a part of you that's learning to be like that, to sit on the bank, to notice every thought, every feeling, as something the river is carrying past. No need to jump in, no need to change the current, just watching until the water is clear again. And from that calmer place, you can turn inward and imagine a different kind of space. A room in your mind. A private place. One that no one else can enter unless you invite them. And in this room there is a chair, and someone is sitting in it. It's you, a version of you. Maybe restless, maybe wired, maybe exhausted. The part of you that reached for that behaviour. The part of you trying to calm the storm inside. And you don't have to say anything to them yet. Just sit near them. Notice them. And maybe they notice you too. There's no judgment here. Only curiosity and compassion. What does this part of you need? Not what does it think it needs, not the quick fix, but what is it really aching for? Is it comfort? Understanding? A sense of control? Freedom from shame? You can ask them, or just feel it. And if you feel ready, let the part know that you're starting to get it. Starting to understand what it's trying to do. And also the struggle it faces. Let it know it's not alone anymore. You're here now. You've got them. And as you sit with that part of you, you might start to notice something else. A strength that's always been there. Another version of you that knows what matters. The part of you that wants to grow. That cares about the people you love. The one who sees beyond the next hit. The one who's learning, gently, to meet discomfort without running. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to get it right every time. You just need to turn toward yourself not away. Even the wild, fast, chaotic bits. Even the heavy, painful, uncomfortable feelings. They're all just messengers, not enemies. And every time you pause, every time you breathe instead of reacting, you send a message back. I'm here now. I've got this. I'm learning a new way. And whether you remember everything I've said today, or just carry the feeling it gave you, something shifted. You're not the same person who began listening to this track, because something's been seen, understood, and held. And the next time that old urge whispers in your ear, you might just pause, take a breath, and ask, what am I really looking for? And is there another way to give myself that? Because that question might be the start of real change. And maybe you don't need to push to figure it all out right now. Just stay open to noticing. Because something interesting happens when you get curious about yourself, instead of judging or running or numbing. You start to hear things you couldn't hear before. See things that were always there. Tiny signals from your body, your mind, your heart, nudging you towards something better, something real. So perhaps from this moment forward, you might just begin asking new questions. What am I really feeling right now? What's really driving that craving or compulsion? What else might help besides the old way? Not because you have to, but because you're interested. Curious about your patterns, your potential, the next version of you that's trying to emerge. And that curiosity, that's not weakness, that's wisdom. That's a sign you're waking up, turning toward life, turning toward yourself. So carry that with you now, that spark of curiosity. Let it grow, let it guide, and trust that even small insights can ripple out and change everything. So in a moment I'll count from 1 to 5 to bring you back. or you can simply drift into sleep, carrying with you this new awareness and a growing trust in yourself. If you're ready to return, at 1 you can slowly become aware of your surroundings. At 2, take a deep breath in. 3, noticing your body, your limbs. 4, stretching gently if you'd like to. And 5, you can open your eyes, come back to the room, or just stay right there, resting, and let everything continue to settle in as you drift into healing sleep.